Okay guys, now we go on IELTS listening part 4, and part 4 is the part of IELTS listening where you must get 10 by 10, and I'm sure you can get that. Okay, I'm quite sure about that. Anyways, as far as part 4 is concerned, there is always a lecture. One person is delivering a lecture or talk or a presentation, and question type is mostly notes completion, and it's one word only. You have to answer the questions. So part 4, questions 31 to 40, complete the notes below, write one word only for each answer. So it's one word only. Elephant translocation. Okay, what a topic, huh? Elephant. And translocation. Translocation means to relocate the elephants. Wow. Something amazing, huh? Now, you guys can see question number 31 is here, and there's a lot of gap. It means audio will start and go on and on and on and on, and it is very important for you to track the audio. You should know if they are discussing second bullet point. You must know if they are on this bullet point, because if you know this, only then you will be able to find the answer. And if the audio is here and you write your answer here, or if the audio is here and you are here, you will never be able to find your answer. For that, I use a technique. That technique is called signpost technique. For example, the word loss, okay, the word breeding, okay, and then the word hunger. When in the audio I hear the word hunger, I will be alert, because after that there will be my answer. Question number 31, damage to. Now, damage to what? And by the way, for damage, they may use the word destroy. Damage to dash in the park. Now, something which belongs to the park, and there was a damage, and this is problem caused by elephant overpopulation. Mean there were so many elephants that they damaged something in the park. Okay, answer will come after hunger. Be careful. Before that, just listen: loss, breeding, hunger, and then they say because of overpopulation they destroyed dash in the park. Okay, please listen and answer.
Part 4. You will hear a zoology student giving a presentation on the process of moving wild elephants to a new reserve, known as translocation.
For my presentation today, I want to tell you about how groups of elephants have been moved and settled in new reserves. This is known as translocation and has been carried out in Malawi in Africa in recent years. The reason this is being done is because of overpopulation of elephants in some areas. Overpopulation is a good problem to have, and not one we tend to hear about very often. In Malawi's Majeti National Park, the elephant population had been wiped out by poachers, who killed the elephants for their ivory. But in 2003, the park was restocked, and effective law enforcement was introduced. Since then, not a single elephant has been poached. In this safe environment, the elephant population boomed. Breeding went so well that there were more elephants than the park could support. This led to a number of problems. Firstly, there was more competition for food, which meant that some elephants were suffering from hunger. As there was a limit to the amount of food in the national park, some elephants began looking further afield. Elephants were routinely knocking down fences around the park, which then had to be repaired at a significant cost.
Okay, so elephants then routinely knocking down the fences around the park. Knock down means to damage. Okay, in the park, for that they use the word around the park. So knocking down the fences around the park. So damage to fences in the park. Correct answer is fences. Question number 32. The translocation process suitable for group of elephants from the same. Now, clue word is same. Group of elephants from the same. For same, they may use the word single. For same, they may use the word one. Okay, same breed, single breed, one breed. Okay, so answer will come after the synonym of same. It can be single, one, or even same. I play the audio. Please listen and answer.
So, how did this translocation process work in practice? Elephants were moved in groups of between 8 and 20, all belonging to one family.
All belonging to one family. See that? Tips are working. One family means same family, single family, right? Correct answer is family. Now, vets and park staff made use of. Now, what is it that they used? Okay, they made use of something. So, what is it that they used? Vets and park staffs made use of something to help guide the elephants. Okay, now I play the audio.
Because relationships are very important to elephants, they all had to be moved at the same time. A team of vets and park rangers flew over the park in helicopters and targeted a group, which were rounded up and directed to a designated open plain.
Okay, have you noticed that? They flew, vets and park staff, they flew in the helicopters to help guide the elephants. Alright, just listen to it again.
Because relationships are very important to elephants, they all had to be moved at the same time. A team of vets and park rangers.
A team of vets and park rangers. Rangers is staff.
Flew over the park in helicopters.
Flew over the park in helicopters means made use of helicopters.
And targeted a group, which were rounded up and directed.
Okay, targeted a group which were rounded up and directed
to a designated open plain.
Okay, designated open plain. So they used helicopters. Okay. Let's go on. Elephants were immobilized with tranquilizers. Okay. This process means the process of making the elephants immobilized with tranquilizers. Okay, so this process had to be completed quickly to reduce something. Now, answer will come after the synonym of to reduce, and for to reduce, they commonly use the word minimize. Okay, so let's see what do they say after minimize, and that will be your right answer. Okay, now please listen and answer question number 34.
The vets then used darts to immobilize the elephants. This was a tricky maneuver, as they not only had to select the right dose of tranquilizer for different-sized elephants, but they had to dart the elephants as they were running around. This also had to be done as quickly as possible, so as to minimize the stress caused.
As to minimize the stress caused. So minimize, and correct answer is stress. Okay. All right. Minimize means reduce. Now, question number 35. Elephants had to be turned on there. Now, there means it's going to be a part of elephant's body. They had to be turned on there. Like, sometimes you lay on your belly, you lay on your back, you lay on your side, you turn on your side like that. Elephants had to be turned on their dash to avoid damage to their lungs. Okay. So, and the elephants had to be turned on their bellies, right? Or on their, it's going to be a part of body, on their chests, right? On their necks. So it's going to be a part of body where they had to turn the elephant in order to avoid damage to their lungs. Okay.
As soon as the elephants began to flop onto the ground, the team moved in to take care of them. To avoid the risk of suffocation, The team had to make sure none of the elephants were lying on their chests, because their lungs could be crushed in this position. So, all the elephants had to be placed on their sides.
All the elephants had to be placed on their sides to avoid damage to their lungs. Okay? Exactly. Sides will be the right answer. Question number 36. Elephants. Now you see apostrophe. Apostrophe means something related to elephant had to be monitored constantly. For example, elephant's blood pressure had to be monitored constantly. Elephant's heartbeat had to be monitored constantly. Now related to elephant, there is something which had to be monitored on regular basis constantly. Let's say,
one person stayed with each elephant while they waited for the vets to do checks. It was very important to keep an eye on their breathing. If there were fewer than 6 breaths per minute,
it was very important to keep an eye on their breathing. There is for elephant. Their breathing means elephant's breathing. Keep an eye. Monitor. Okay, I'm playing it again.
One person stayed with each elephant while they waited for the vets to do checks. It was very important to keep an eye on their breathing. If there were fewer than 6 breaths per minute, the elephant would need urgent medical attention.
Okay, now let's go on. Tracking devices, okay, data including the size of their tusks. Now, size of 2 parts of elephant's body. One is tusk and dash was taken. Tusk and dash. Okay, now it's going to be another part of elephant's body. For example, it can be tusk and trunk, tusk and tail, tusk and something. Okay, it's a part of body like tusk.
Collars were fitted to the matriarch in each group so their movements could be tracked in their new home. Measurements were taken of each elephant's tusks. Elephants with large tusks would be at greater risk from poachers, and also of their feet.
Also of their feet. For and they use the word also of their feet. Okay, tusks and feet. Correct answer is feet. Now let's move on. Advantages of translocation at Nakota Wildlife Park. Okay, you need to say 2 times Kota. Kota is donkey in Punjabi or Punjabi. So Nakota Wildlife Park. Dash opportunities. Very simple. It's going to be the type of opportunities. It can be like positive opportunities, job opportunities. Okay, so type of opportunities. And I have noticed this thing, for opportunities they commonly use the word prospects. For example, job prospects. Job prospects means job opportunities. Okay, now please listen and answer question number 38.
The elephants were then taken to a recovery area before being loaded onto trucks and transported to their new home. The elephants translocated to Nkotakota settled in very well, and the project has generally been accepted to have been a huge success, and not just for the elephants. Employment prospects have improved enormously, contributing to rising living standards for the whole community.
Okay, employment prospects. Employment prospects. That means employment opportunities. Focus again.
Not just for the elephants. Employment prospects have improved.
Employment prospects have improved. Employment opportunities have improved means advantages. Okay. Now, a reduction in the number of poachers and reduction in 2 things. Number 1 is number of poachers, and second they will tell us in the audio. Let's see what that is.
Poaching is no longer an issue, as former poachers are able to find more reliable sources of income. In fact, many of them volunteered to give up their weapons, as they were no longer of any use to them.
Okay. So reduction in the number of poachers, and they gave up their weapons. So when they gave up their weapons, it means there was a reduction in the number of poachers and weapons as well. Okay, please follow this again.
Poaching is no longer an issue, as former poachers are able to find more reliable sources of income. In fact, many of them volunteered to give up their weapons.
Many of them volunteered to give up their weapons. When poachers volunteered to give up their weapons, they did not remain, they were not the poachers, okay? So it reduced the number of poachers, and as they gave up their weapons, so it reduced the number of weapons.
As they were no longer of any use to them.
Okay, let's go on. Question number 40. Now first they say example of conservation that other parks can follow. Parks. This is signposting. Increase in dash as a contributor to GDP. Increase is your clue word. Right? Increase. If for increase, they can use the word rise. Increase, improve. Something goes up. Okay, increase in something, it's a contributor to GDP. Now let's see increase in what?
More than 24 elephants have been born at Nkotakota since relocation. With an area of more than 1,800 square kilometres, there's plenty of space for the elephant population to continue to grow. Their presence is also helping to rebalance Nkotakota's damaged ecosystem, and providing a sustainable conservation model which could be replicated in other parks. All this has been a big draw for tourism, which contributes 5 times more than the illegal wildlife trade to GDP.
All this has been a big draw for tourism. A big draw for tourism means increase in tourism. Listen to this part again, please.
Ecosystem, and providing a sustainable conservation model which could be replicated in other parks. All this has been a big draw for tourism.
All this has been a big draw for tourism. Big draw for tourism means increase in tourism,
which contributes 5 times more than the illegal wildlife trade to GDP.
Okay, which contributes to, which means tourism, contributes to 5 times more in the GDP. So tourism as a contributor. For that they used which. This is the key.
For tourism, which contributes 5 times more.
Which contributes 5 times more. So increase in tourism contributes 5 times more. Okay, correct answer is tourism. So guys, see that we got 10 by 10, and if you're going to do your IELTS listening like this, you will get 10 by 10 in part 4. And this is how you can get 8 or 9 band without a problem. Thank you so much. All the best. I also teach IELTS online all over the world and in campus in Lahore. If you wish to be the part of my online or in campus IELTS classes, and we offer IELTS test booking service, we offer PTE classes, and we provide IELTS study plans before IELTS exam. If you want to get any of these services, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.